Hello, and welcome to Project 3.3. For my short ISP, I chose to create the Aces Chump Custom Proto Station. For this project, I chose to manufacture and design the Abra 4 breadboard kit, but better. Some problems I identified with the Abra 4 breadboard kit was the lack of customization, protection, and also the layout of the breadboards. To expand on my first point, I wanted to make sure that any chump build could fit into my case. So I made sure that various color combinations were available, and also that not just the 4 breadboard layout was made available, but the 2 breadboard layout and 3 breadboard layout were also supported. Additionally, I wanted to run the power underneath the board. This way I could have an unobstructed view of the processor through the acrylic window, without a power cord running through. The final product was only possible through many bad ideas, failed prints, and prototypes. Here is the first example, of which I had 4 panels to make up the chump build platform. The issue stems from that the epoxy bonded to each panel had a very minimal surface area. This resulted in a very weak bond. As I demonstrated in my ISP midpoint presentation, this build plate is not very strong. So this is why I shifted directions to go with a single piece. Printing such a large piece that needed to be exactly flat required a new glass bed. This led to a whole host of new bed leveling issues that I had to overcome. Here is the first example of many tests. Many rolls of filament later, and I had got my printer printing properly. The next issue I had run into was the magnet strength between the top and bottom sandwich pieces. Here I have an example of the smaller magnets I was using at my initial demonstration. These are not strong enough to hold the case in place. I overcame this issue by switching to larger 60 by 10 millimeter neodymium magnets. These produce a lot more strength, and that way the magnetic case snaps together as intended. This new bottom piece also has a small divot for the chump build plate to slide into. This way it cannot slide around on top of the bottom piece, such as in the old model. To make the Aces Chump Proto Station as durable as possible, I used a 1.5mm clear acrylic window to view the chump while it was processing. Also, to attach a 16mm diameter button. This button is latching, that way it can power on and off the PCB. Unfortunately, both prototype V1 on the right and V2 on the left did not work, so I'll keep this portion of the video brief. These 2 PCBs both contain ATmega 328P processors, with 595 shift registers for the 4 7-segment displays. The 7-segment displays were meant to display the output of the accumulator. Unfortunately, after flashing the ATmega processor, it still did not function. I'll be looking into this over the Christmas holidays. Thank you for watching and listening to my Project 3.3, my short ISP.